Celtic world has more than its share of the supernatural, legends, and myth, which sometimes cross the line into reality. I tell those tales here on Dark Celtic History. Nuckelavee, Orkney's malevolent creature. Now, in Celtic nations, there are a number of mythological creatures that share the land and waters with humankind. Some are benign, others avoid humans at all costs. That's probably the most sensible of all, because of all the creatures of the world, humans appear to cause the most harm and trouble. Now, other entities in folklore can only be seen or heard at times of impending tragedy, but there are other creatures who appear strongly in traditional beliefs, and there's those that strike fear in the heart of all who encounter them. One such creature exists around the seas of the Orkney Islands, just north of Scotland, known by the name Nuckelavee, which is derived from the Orcadian word. I won't even try to pronounce it, but the meaning devil of the sea. Now, accounts vary in regard to the appearance of the Nuckelavee, a hybrid of a man and horse-like creature with horrifically strong Viking influences. It appears to be a fusion of Celtic mythology and a dark Norse legend. The Nuckelavee is described as having a head and torso in the shape of a man, but with a huge head and a large mouth protruding out like that of a pig. The creature had one single red eye that burned like fire. It had a man's torso attached to a horse's back, but with long arms that could reach the ground. To add to the horror of his appearance, the creature is without hair or skin, a raw body where his black blood can be seen coursing through his veins and every pulsating muscle taut and ready to pounce. Its intention towards all humans who crossed his path is completely malevolent, bordering on downright evil. Another otherworldly being in the Orcadian folklore, known as the Mither of the Sea, is said to have the power to keep the Nuckelavee at bay and under the sea and off the land during the spring, summer, and early autumn. However, in the winter, the Mither of the Sea must return to the other world and renew her powers. This is when the creature can emerge from the depths and walk the land of the Orkney Islands, and of course wreak havoc and chaos among any who cross his path. The reason the Mither of the Sea does this in winter is because of the plentiful rains of the fresh water. You see, Nuckelavee, has a fear of rain. It can curtail the power of the Nuckelavee, for he gains his power from the salt of the sea. The plentiful supply of rain in Orkney during the winter and his inability to touch the fresh water is the key to escape this horrific monster. Just reach a freshwater loch or river. Alright. Nevertheless, though, for the people of the Orkney, this is a feared and loathsome creature. His breath is said to be like a poison that causes harm to livestock and crops to fail. He is also considered to be responsible for epidemics and drought. The people of Orkney have experienced the Nuckelavee's wrath. You see, in the Orkney, from the early 18th until the early 19th century, they burned seaweed to produce kelp. They realized all too quick it was infuriating to the Nuckelavee. The Nuckelavee hated the smell of the smoke so bad that it drove him into an uncontrolled rage. In revenge, he inflicted all the horses on the island with a deadly disease. The Nuckelavee doesn't require much of an excuse to cause harm to the people and animals of Orkney. He is indeed an evil and malevolent creature, and you would be wise to avoid him.